All right. Hello, everyone. Good to see you here. Paul Tranny, going to dive into today's daily creative challenge in good old Illustrator. So happy to have you here. Feel free to say hello in chat.
90%.
Thank you for that. I have 30 minutes, so let's get this party started. Again, thanks so much for joining me. I know there's a little bit of delay in chat, but hello everyone. Wijnand from Amsterdam, Vickers, Monica, Tunk, Lindsay, everyone, we have a good day. Cool things planned. Jana, Ania, and Evan as well. So yeah, let's just go ahead and dive into this. Let me turn down my mic a little bit. I'm just excited to do this. Sorry, I was a little loud, but let's go ahead and dive into this daily creative challenge, okay? And if you're joining me elsewhere, feel free to jump over to behance.net/live because that's the chat I'm reading. So, but here's the daily creative challenge. We are at what day is it? Day 6, vector portraits. Somebody asked about this last week. They're like, oh, I want to do vector portraits. Guess what? Today is your day. So this is going to be really fun. Anna, good to see you from Portugal. So that is the plan, vector portraits. And we're really going to start with a photograph. So you want to download that file, that getting started file, okay? But all it really is just an image that I just imported into good old Illustrator, okay? So you can see right here. You could use this image. You could use your own image. You can use a photo of yourself, whatever you want, but this is just our starting point. Notice that once you import it, I've actually just taken the opacity down. So you just want to drop that down to about 60%, and then I usually lock that layer, all right? And again, I think this is a really cool exercise to kind of jump in here and vectorize basically a photo or portrait. It really helps you get familiar with all the vector tools, the pen tool. I'm going to do pen tool, pencil tool, like all these little tips and tricks. Tips and tricks today. Tips and tricks today. So, jumping in here, here's the lucky little pen tool, right? You want to master that ultimately, but we'll just start right down here in the lips, right? And I'm just going to start actually with black initially. So with that pen tool selected, I'm just going to start clicking and starting to outline. As I click and drag, I'll get those Bezier points, right? You'll notice my Bezier points altogether are probably a little bit larger than yours because I changed it in preferences on day 1 just to make it easier, okay? But we can see it right there. I've drawn that out. We can grab any one of these points, maybe adjust accordingly. And in this case, let's switch back to the pen tool. P for pen tool, bam. Let's just have some fun with this, shall we? Hopefully everybody's day's going well. Big thank you to Sam Peterson and Tim Mobest for their wonderful stream just before mine. Also, what I have happening here is it's projecting, by the way, it's projecting where that next line will be. This gets really helpful as you have that Bezier point there. You can kind of project and say, hey, do I want it to be up here? Do I want to connect it? In this case, I do want to connect it, okay? Once I've done that, I'll switch to the direct selection tool and I'll just grab this point. And if I ever want to round out a corner, too many times people will kind of come in here and they'll try to play with, they'll like add a Bezier point like that or something and try to like work it out that way. You don't need to do that. I would actually go directly to the direct selection tool, grab that point, pull that down. We've rounded that accordingly. Okay, cool. We're going to change those to red. Bam. Flip it. There we have her lips at this point. Okay. Cody Bear's in the house. Good to see you. I'm going to go ahead and bring these over. You're thinking for something like the teeth, it's always about taking a look at the shape you need to make and figuring out what tool is going to be best. Okay, so I could still use the pen tool on the teeth. That's going to take too long. I actually want to show you. There's the paintbrush tool, and then there's the blob brush tool just beneath it. The paintbrush creates a line, in this case, a funky line. What's that all about? Yeah, that's weird. But essentially, it's very similar to just like using the pen tool, okay? But the blob brush tool, on the other hand, is what I want to switch to, and I'm going to change that color to white. And I'm going to come in here and just paint in the teeth because I have this round brush. I can create a shape is what I'm doing here. Creates that shape like so. Okay, so Shift B if you want to know the shortcut, but now I can add to it as well, adding to these teeth. And guess what? If you're used to using Photoshop, those shortcut keys work just fine. I'm just doing the closing, actually the opening curly bracket to change that like so. There we go. You get the idea. So that's just an easy way to do this sort of shape. I could always jump in, use the pen tool, say down here, you know, for her tongue, but I'm only doing certain parts of this particular portrait because honestly, I only have 27 minutes. Let's take that, let's send it to the back, let's change its color, right? Make that kind of like a darker color because it's going to be inside like that. And then we kind of have the lips popping, as they say. How is everybody doing? What's up, Too Senseless? Hello. I see you dialing in from Brasilia, Brazil as well. Allison, good to see you. And Mark from Nashville. Cool. So again, we just kind of did the lips right there, teeth. That looks good. Let's go up here to these other parts. We could still use the pen tool, by the way. Right, we can go in here. P for pen. Bam. We can create this line, right? Let's flip these. Let's get this back to black, like so. And for something like the nose, it really is going to have this nice shadow down there. So actually what I probably want to do in this case, for this particular line, I can change the uniformity of that line. I can basically give it a curve up here at the top. That's what I want to do. I'll actually just pick this second width profile like that. You didn't see it change that much, but let's go ahead and thicken that up like so, right? And now I have this new stroke. And actually what I want to do is I want to use this stroke. Yeah, it is very 50s, and I'm totally into it, Steve. I want to keep using the same stroke, and I showed this the other day, the appearance panel. From here on out, uncheck this. Just every time I draw, let me have that same width profile, okay? And if I happen to change it, keep using my last setting. So make sure that's unchecked, because what that means is now I can go over here, hit P for pen, if I want to, and we can kind of curve that out. Guess what? I could do something more. I typically will use the pencil. Some of you guys think I'm crazy, by the way. Maybe. But let's just kind of get this curved like so. Let's do her nose. Kind of like that, okay? Okay, so I have this line, right? And this doesn't look that good. If I really take a look at it, I don't know if I want it to be the same thickness or be tapered on the edge the same amount. So what I actually want to do is I'm going to use the width tool. Right over here, we can see the width tool. It's that line with, sure enough, different widths. And now I can come over here to this line and make it thinner where I want it to be thinner, like so, okay? So that's what I want to do there for the nose. I can shape this any way I want, which is nice. Okay, let's get back into it. How's everyone doing? Enjoying all the new tricks. That's the idea. I'm going to go ahead and hit N for pencil because I'm just going to quickly draw. And I'm just using my good old mouse. I'm not using some special tablet or anything, just so you know. We know for the eyes, and I see Val's here. And Sam Peterson knows this. If you're doing eyes, it's going to be the upper eyelash is going to be thicker than the lower one typically. So we'll crank that up a lot like that. Okay, and from there, hit N. I can draw, zoop, draw that out. Well, guess what? We want to change that width profile as well because that's how we're going to do the lashes. Bam, like so. Okay, hit N for pencil. Get those lashes. Get them. Look at this. Look at these gorgeous lashes. Kind of like that. I could always make them thinner at one end if I want to, right? Again, I'm not going to try to get into too much of this detail, but just enough of it to make it look good is the goal, okay? And I think this will actually be even easier on this side as I kind of curve that up. We can get those lashes looking great. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, like that. And we could do some of the bottom ones as well. Cool. You get the idea, using that width tool, thickening up this line just to kind of hide those little sins that I have going on right there, right? Let's just thicken that up and get rid of those lines. But it's nice that I have control over the thickness of each one of these to kind of cover it up there. Or I could just actually move those lines to where they'd be a little bit more appropriate. But let's take a look at the eye. What do we do there? Simple. When we get a chance, we're going to use something like an ellipse. In this case, the eye, since it's at an angle, we're going to rotate it, and it's going to be at an angle. Zoop, just like that. Okay. This next part we could do a number of ways. Okay. Yeah, I wish it was that easy to get lashes like that. Right? I know. Right? And still some of these need to be fixed a little bit. This lash right here. There we go. Let's bring that in because that's kind of bothering me. Right? Like that. Okay, so the key thing is you're really not going to notice a lot of this. I could add a highlight in there. I could do this actually a number of ways. I could actually, use the pen tool if I want to. I can cut out part of that shape. I could leave it white if I want to. As I just change it to white, you get the idea. Like so. Like so. Which is not bad, right? Couple highlights over here. I'm not sure what I want to do with the highlights just yet. I do know that I want these eyes to kind of be roughly the same size. Technically, this one would be a touch smaller since it's back there a little bit further. So we could always resize that down just a touch. Either way, we want to just make her eyes look awesome. Okay, so we have that all squared away. Hopefully you're following along. A lot of times, once I complete something, so I almost have this done. Let's go in here, like that. Let's make sure that line has some color. And let's change the uniformity. So basically, guess what? I want the same line stroke that I had up here or even up here. I can hit the eye for eyedropper, and then I can click on that line. And now I've adapted all those properties to that new line that I've drawn. And as I continue to draw again, it's going to keep those same properties. Okay, so I can do that down the side. I actually need to do this eyebrow. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Feel free. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with in Discord, which will be awesome to kind of check out later. Sample that, right? Hit I, sample that, and let's make this happen. Like that. I like drawing. Sometimes I will screw up, right? I'll be like, oh, I cut into the cheek right here. Well, guess what? I'm going to change the uniformity of this. I can come down here and start and pick up where that line left off and continue down. So you don't need to draw everything in one big stroke. You could just kind of continue like so. Helps to zoom out actually, for sure, in this case, because I want to make sure it's smooth. Like that. Beautiful. 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 Carry it around. There's her hair, something like that. It's kind of silly, but why not? Let's get her ear in there. Wrapping it around like so. Not getting too close to that previous line. I can control, by the way, if it's going to start picking up from that last line, and that's in your pen tool options. So you could always say, hey, don't edit the selected path if you're having a hard time, like it keeps on, picking up where the last line kind of fell off, right? Let's do the ear like that, get those different shapes like that, and that looks not bad. Come down here like so. Again, just have fun with this. I'm going to eliminate that last point. Back in. Down like that. I could do that line. I could do her collarbone. Something like that. Just roughing in these lines. Trying to get this to look good is the goal, right? Carrying that down like that. Cool. That's all you need to do today is just outline this particular photo. Pretty easy to work with. I think it gets really fun the more you modify these lines, right? The thickness, gets really interesting. Like that. I must go faster. There we go, like so. Very sort of, I don't know, 50s style, I guess. Let's go right in here. Go up, down, over, like that. You get the idea. Super. Yeah, is that what that's called? Pin curls? I think that her pin curls are awesome. Her eyebrows, by the way, like they're looking a little intense. Anytime they're sloped down like that, well, they're a little intense. You know, feel free to modify your illustration all you want to, you know, in this case, make her look a little bit more, I don't know, just like her eyes are smiling, her mouth, everything's smiling except for her eyebrows. She looks mean. So anyway, so I don't want to have those conflicting emotions there. And already that looks pretty good, right? So we have that drawn, right? Oh, thank you. Voodoo Val always means a lot to me when you say you like my stuff. It really does. It really helps me out so much. So I kind of have this going on. I want to kind of color in some more parts. I'm going to color in the hair, and I want to kind of show you how you can do color. You can do it a couple different ways. Ooh, you could do this in fresco with a vector brush. Ooh, seems easier than Illustrator. Either way, whatever you want to do. But since this is an Illustrator stream, we're going to do it in Illustrator. But feel free, pick your poison. I would add a new layer right over here, and this might be more my fill layer. And this is the lines, right? Something like that. So go to this fill layer. I can come in and start actually adopting some of these. This is actually what I want to do. I'm thinking for the hair, I actually want to steal this line. I want to steal this line, steal all these little lines right in here, like so. Even this one, right? This is going to get a little crazy. So wait for it. Yeah, I only have about 8 minutes left. So yeah, I'm using those lines. I'm going to start connecting all of these lines as well. I should be able to do this, right? Right in here. There's a number of ways to connect these lines, right? I can draw them, or I can just grab them, put them right here. Could select both those and do Command J, because what we're doing here is we're joining those paths. Bam. Okay, that's one way to do it. Typically, you don't need both those points once you do that. Another way, again, is just drawing. So hitting N for pencil. I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to draw and connect. Ooh, connect that line. Let's come over here. Let's do this. Let's go down like that. Let's connect. Oop. You have to make sure it's selected, but I'm connecting. Ugh. You know what? I even think for these, I don't quite need to do that. But I really want it to follow the same. Right? Like that. There we go. Selecting everything. Zoop. Oh, come on now. Like that. Roughly. There we go. It's a little crazy. I'll use the pen tool for some of these. There we go. Got it. Let's fill this in really fast, because there's more I want to show you as well. Command J, joining those. Getting rid of this point. Command J, joining those. Now we can go ahead and give it a color. So we can go brown, whatever we want to go with. There's just a nice fill layer, if you will. We could put that color on top. We could make, again, give her just like whatever hair color we want. I typically would make all of this white. So it's just going to be a black and white illustration. So I'll come in here, say for this line, guess what? We'll just add white to it, just like that, and send it to the back. P for pen, actually A for the direct select tool, go something like that, right? You get the idea. I'll turn off that illustration. You can kind of see this start to come together. Cool. Go, go, go. Arthur says, go, go, go. We must hurry. Right, same thing right up here. Guess what? I showed you the blob brush earlier. You could use the blob brush right in here if you want to as well. I'll just create a new layer. And for this new layer, Shift B will give you the blob brush. Let's pick a new color. Let's pick a fun pink. I don't know. Increase the brush size by using the closing curly bracket right in here. And now let's just kind of paint. Oop, I did not pick that color. Oops, sorry. There we go. All right, there we go. I just put it as the stroke color, not the fill color. Again, just doing this really fast, filling this in. You get the idea. I would clean this up more if I had more time. I think for this one, I could go ahead and fill it. But again, have fun with this. As I'm doing right now, maybe making that a little bit thicker. And again, I should clean up these lines. Okay, sounds good, right? Hopefully all this is making sense, right? We can use the pencil tool and cut that. Oh. To trim that up, right? I'm just drawing over that and kind of trimming it up that way. And I could use the direct selection tool if I wanted to, or I could just redraw. Redrawing cleans up a lot of this, as you can see. Hopefully this makes sense. And thank you everyone who's participating in the Daily Creative Challenge. I'll be checking those out later on. Go down like that, you get the idea. Cool, cool. Cool. Any questions? There's more I can do, actually. Let me, what I would actually do with this, I could add shading, which would be really fun. It'd be so fun to add some shading, right? I'd put some shading under her neck, probably, right? So that's one step that you can do, right? Jump in there, like so, kind of like that. There we go. And then just make that a nice gray, okay? So you can start to add some dimension that way. So it's just so much fun. Feel free to do it with your own photo, by the way. I'm going to click over to the final version. Let's turn off this. Pretend like you didn't see that. But here's roughly one that I did earlier before the stream. So spent a little bit more time on it, tightened it up. Cool thing is we could play with some of those, play with like, say, colors in the background. Let's do that right now. Zoop, like that, right? We could do something like that, give her some pop. I could do a fun checkered pattern. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try to hurry through this. Boom, boom, bam, ba, ga, ja. Dropping that in to the brushes panel. Boom. Creating a pattern brush out of those 2 squares. Yeah, that's right. Do something like that. And guess what? Let's go ahead and pick that. And now we have like a checkered pattern. That might be kind of fun, since it's kind of like a 50s style. Or I go a different direction. You ready for this? If you've been following along with me, I could use other brushes as well. So right in here, we worked with brushes yesterday. Let's grab this brush and then just start drawing with this fun brush that we have here. This is, again, just another pattern brush. Throw that around in the background. We could add some more, some more hearts in the foreground. Let's pick a fun color. And shoo. Wait for it. Let's change it. There we are. Again, you get the idea. Just adding some flowers. Because you know what? We made these yesterday. And now she's like a Disney princess. We made these yesterday. And you know what? We can control the color of each one of these as well. So we change that up any way we want. We can make it look magical, right? By using, I don't know, maybe we'll have some hearts in there. I don't know. I'll play with it some more. There's some hearts. Cool. That's the idea. I encourage you to start combining these together. You're going to get some awesome results, I think. Let's get some more sort of like leaves flowing through here. Like so. And now we have our Disney princess. Cool. So have some fun with this. I know I did. And all it is just really just tracing a picture. So, oh, Marcia. Oh, really? Marcia's starting to like Illustrator. Anyone knows what's that brush option when you're redrawing? So right over here, I think this is what you mean with the pencil tool. If I go in here, just double click on the pencil tool. We're always editing selected paths. Okay, so that's what we're doing right there. you could always turn that off. And this is within this certain pixel range. And notice that I have the fidelity clear over to smooth because I wanted these nice smooth lines. Okay? So again, use the pen tool if you want to get really exact. If you want to just create some nice flowy lines, use the pencil. There's also the brush, and then there's also the blob brush as we dive into just kind of filling in areas, right? But again, pretty fun. Gerard, awesome. Yeah, I hope it's fun. Take that image, make something cool, grab your own image, and just, it's kind of knowing like which lines to keep and which lines to remove is kind of what it comes down to. But I'm going to be respectful of your time and let you go. Thank you, Steve and Stephanie and everyone. Have a great day. I will be checking Discord, which is right over here, and watching that for what you create. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a beautiful day, and actually stick around for Evan Place and Peter Del Tondo. Good to see you guys, and we'll see you actually tomorrow. So thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you soon. Stay online for these guys because they're awesome. Especially, I don't know Evan Place, but Peter's like, he's a good guy. All right, guys, and get cracking on your file. Thanks so much.